It's recording.
Okay.
So, hello and welcome for this interview. And yeah, can you introduce yourself for my viewers?
Hi, my name is Jeff Brooks. I'm the founder and lead developer of JB Gaming Inc. And in 2016, we created the game Grave Danger.
Awesome. So, how long have you been a developer?
Well, I've been a game developer for about 18 years. In 1999, I started creating text-based games in C++ and graphical DOS games in a few various game engines. And I just kept making games throughout the year until it became my career when I became an adult.
Awesome. So, when did you start JB Gaming?
I first founded JB Gaming in August 2014. I was working at another game developer studio. We were making mobile games, and there's a lot of company restructuring going on, so I decided, okay, well, it seems like a good time to maybe think about what I'm going to do next. And so I called up a business associate of mine, and I said, let's start a gaming business. And they said, okay, let's do it. So we did.
Okay, that's cool. Before Grave Danger, you did another game, Other Panic. So, Other Panic is free on Google Play. Why did you choose to only release Other Panic on Android and not for iOS or PC, and why is it free?
So, at the time, JB Gaming was focused on mobile, and Utter Panic was a game targeted specifically for mobile, so that's why it's free, because looking at mobile, you know, you want to do free-to-play in order to get it in as many people's hands as possible. And it actually was released for iOS, but the company's not really focused on mobile anymore, and so we let our iOS developer license, we let that go. We didn't renew our developer license for iOS, so Apple took the game off their marketplace. So it was up there and it was doing fine, but we didn't renew our license, so it's off their store. And Google doesn't do that to you, so that's why it's available on Google and not on Apple. The game is in the category of infinite runner, and so it's true that we could have released it for PC, but I don't really feel like it was an appropriate fit for PC.
Okay. Did you know during the development of Other Panic that Grave Danger would be your next project?
No, I did not know that Grave Danger would be the next project. We were still focused on mobile at the time, and we started working on another mobile game, actually. It was going to be a mix between maybe Harvest Moon and what's that one? Well, it was gonna be a mobile game, but I decided that the company needs to shift its focus because I didn't really feel like mobile was working for it, and I wanted to deliver a really great product because I knew we could make good games, but we just weren't reaching the audience we needed to succeed for mobile. So we began working on Grave Danger in 2016 after I decided, okay, we need to target PC and consoles.
Did you hire more staff after the development of Other Panic to develop Grave Danger?
Yes. The dynamics of JB Gaming changed a little bit after releasing Utter Panic. For Utter Panic, we had a full-time dedicated artist, and shortly after it's released, he moved to a different state. And here at JB Gaming, we like to work in person. Like, we like to have the artists come in and work in our office. So moving forward with Grave Danger, we contracted 4 different artists at different times throughout 2016 to help develop Grave Danger's graphics. If I'd had a choice, I would have just had one artist for consistency, but the availability of everyone I was working with was different. So we also did contract a musician to make the music. So yeah, we did. It is JB Gaming's biggest project because we did hire more people, yes.
Are Other Panic and Grave Danger the only games you made at JB Gaming?
No, it isn't. JB Gaming's first game was a mobile game called Beastbound, and the game is no longer available. I view it as a learning project, really. It was a very ambitious game, and the development cycle was only 6 months, and so it just wasn't where it needed to be successful, really. So it was also an online game, and so there were server costs. So we just couldn't support it anymore, and so we pulled it from the app stores.
You decided to go on Kickstarter to finance Grave Danger. How did this influence the experience of developing Grave Danger?
So Kickstarter was another big learning experience. It helped me confirm that people were definitely interested in the title, and that they liked the way it looked. And but the biggest influence from Kickstarter is the realization that you are promising an end product on a timeline, you know. And a lot of Kickstarter games will maybe be a year, or they'll be late. But I was promising the end of the year, and so that kind of really sunk in that I was promising this game by the end of the year. And so as soon as the Kickstarter was finished, it was really crunch mode to finish the game.
The funding of Grave Danger on Kickstarter was unsuccessful. Did this influence the final game?
It did influence the final game. We had a lot of lofty goals listed on the Kickstarter, and I was hoping with the additional funding from the Kickstarter that we'd be able to hire another programmer and contract more than one artist at once. But since these things fell through, we just had to scale things back a bit. We had to leave out additional features like more bosses and characters and world themes. We also wanted to make multiplayer not just local, and so we weren't able to do that because we needed another programmer to do that.
Okay. Did you use an engine to develop Grave Danger, or did you follow scripted yourself?
I did use a game engine. Grave Danger was created with Unity, and we used C#, and I did all of the programming for the game with C# through Unity.
You did everything, the programming, all on your own?
Yep, one person.
Okay. You developed Grave Danger for PC, Mac and Linux. Why did you decide on these platforms?
So these are the initial launch platforms. I wanted to support all three major desktop computer platforms. I guess I couldn't really think of another operating system for desktop computers. I wanted to show desktop gamers that we're here to make great games, and I wanted to be available to them. I didn't want it to just be Windows. And since we were using Unity, we could target these platforms easily. Unity makes it really pretty easy to just switch which platform you're targeting. So it's always been in the plan to release the games for as many consoles as possible as well, and that's currently what we're working on.
Cool. So, what platforms will it come for and when?
So, I can only confirm that Xbox One we are releasing in the summer. And that's just because we have the dev kits now, and we're working on that right now. We need to get some dev kits for the other consoles, but we'd like to do PS4 and the Nintendo Switch.
Awesome. Grave Danger has 3 main characters. How did you choose them, and is there any history to that?
So this is actually a question I get a lot, and it's not that complicated, really. The 3 main characters don't have any particular reason behind how they were chosen. I asked my artist to concept a whole lot of characters for a side-scrolling adventure game. I said, we're going to make a side-scroller. I'm not sure what it's going to be or why it's going to be, but I need you to concept some characters. So he went to work and he concepted about 20 different characters, and I pointed at the Grim Reaper, the Cowboy, and a Wizard, and I said, these three, they are our stars, and that's who we're going to use.
It's a weird combination.
Yeah.
A really weird combination.
I know, they just stood out to me as the most unique and cool characters. I just liked them a lot, and so I said, I'm going to make these three work together. They're the unlikely trio.
Well, it worked. What do you think about each platform?
So, I think that mobile is highly accessible to users. Anyone can pick up a game and play for free. Most of the time, it's usually really easy to control, or if it's not, then that's a problem. It should be easy to control. The hardest thing is for smaller developers, because you either have to have something so unique and ridiculous that it goes viral, or you have to have a very large marketing budget. It's difficult to make enough money to support a mobile title. You need either tens of thousands to, hundreds of thousands of people playing your mobile title to make enough money. And really, developers are expected to pay for users to download their free app. That's pretty much the status quo for having a successful mobile game. And so it's really difficult because you have to have a very large marketing budget for mobile. So that would be why JB Gaming switched focus. I said, this just isn't going to work for us, so we're going to target PC. So I feel like PC gives developers a better opportunity to launch their game, as they can focus on making a great game and offer it at a one-time fee. And I'm hoping to learn a lot more about console markets and development as I launch Grave Danger on consoles this year.
Well, how many people in total worked on Grave Danger?
So I gave it a count, and I believe it's 8 people. However, there were never more than 3 people working on the game at once, at least in the physical office. We contracted a musician to work remotely, and then it was myself full-time programming, and then I had a part-time intern, and then the rest were artists that we contracted throughout the year.
What type of education did you guys do?
So, speaking for myself, I was self-taught game development since the age of 12, but then I attended community college, focusing on graphic design, and I made a lot of Flash games. It was the early 2000s. And then later I went to university and I did computer science and a degree called IT Innovation, which basically was about coming up with a good idea and then doing fundraising to launch a business. So that's exactly what I did with JB Gaming. As far as the other people that worked on the game, many of the artists I went to community college with. So that's where I knew a fair amount of the development team. We went to community college together, where we studied graphic art.
So you also studied graphic art?
Yes.
You studied a lot.
Yeah, I ever since I started game development, I've just kind of been like, I can fill in the gaps and do whatever. I can do music, I can do sound effects, I can do graphics, but the most valuable thing is the programming as far as like time spent and technical skill. It's a lot. So that's where I end up finding myself to be most valuable.
What was the biggest challenge in producing Grave Danger?
The biggest challenge was producing enough content and finding a budget. We had to, like you pointed out, our Kickstarter wasn't successful, so we still needed to find money to keep operating. So we've found private investments. So we're a privately owned company, so we basically have angel investors. So the biggest challenge was finding a budget, really. As far as developing the game, it was really producing levels was one of the biggest time sinks, because once I'd programmed most of the game, you know, each level uses the same programming for the most part. So producing those levels was a big challenge. And then co-op was a little hard, actually. Getting the camera stuff to be right, because it's really challenging to have a game that has 3 characters and 2 people can play, and it really should be one camera focused. So I'd say, yeah, budget, camera, and levels.
Okay, well, that's a good challenge, right?
Yeah.
Did you get any help from the industry to develop Grave Danger?
No, not really. There is one guy named M. Joshua. He helped me with producing the trailer for Grave Danger. He just gave me some tips. But no, not really. I don't really have a lot of big industry connections. I'm hoping to fix that, but yeah, if I had them, I would have asked for help. But no, this is basically a grassroots kind of homegrown game.
What type of games do you play in your free time?
For the most part, I really like to play old Super Nintendo games, and that should kind of be obvious when you play Grave Danger that the influences are from major Super Nintendo games such as Mega Man and Lost Vikings. But I do play some modern games. One of my favorite games was actually a Kickstarter game called Shadowrun Returns. I really like that kind of game. It's a tactical isometric game. So yeah, for the most part, I like to play retro games.
Cool. How long did it take to create Grave Danger?
This is one of the most surprising things, is that it only took us 9 months to develop Grave Danger, from concept to finish. It was about this time last year, March or April, that we started working on Grave Danger, and then we shipped it to Steam December 19th. It was the most work I'd done in a short time in my life, and I'm most proud of Grave Danger. It's the best thing I've ever made, and I'm very proud of it. And yeah, it didn't take long to make, about 9 months.
What are your next plans for development? Are you expanding Grave Danger?
So right now we're focused on getting Grave Danger on the consoles, and then our part-time guy Cody, he makes our websites, but he also makes a lot of the levels. So right now he's working on additional levels that we hope to sell as DLC. And there is also another character in the works for Grave Danger for the DLC. And it's going to be female character. Actually, I haven't told anyone this, so you're the first to know.
Yay! Exclusive content.
Yep.
And that was also my last questions. Do you have anything else you want to say?
Well, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's checked us out, taken a look, bought the game, played the demo, shared our stuff. We really appreciate it, because we're a really small studio here, and we're just trying to make it by, and we're trying to make really great games, and I hope that we can stay active and keep making really good games and be a well-known developer. So I just want to say thank you to everyone.
Cool. Well, then in that case, we finished the video right here. Thank
Awesome.
you for doing this.
Yes, thanks for the interview.